Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit, and I am Lord of the Arena. 1-0. 100% win ratio. Time to retire. Let's not. Let's see how this warrior deck goes. It's not bad. It's not awful. My only concern maybe is that it doesn't quite have enough punch at the late game, but I think there's a number of interesting little combos. There's some nice little enrage kind of combinations that you can pull off with it to do excellent damage. Not enough Raging Worgens in the deck. That would have been really, really good. Raging Worgen plus things like Inner Rage or Cruel Taskmaster is the most ridiculous thing. But it's Arena. We don't necessarily get the cards that we want. But if we try sometimes, you might find we'll get what we need. Alright, not the best of starts, so I think we'll toss the Sunwalker and the Fen Creeper though. Keep a hold of the Corcoran. Ah, Mad Bomber. Alright. Potentially useful. We'll see. If he brings out a creature that has 1 health, then it would be a good move to coin Mad Bomber, because that generally means a 2-for-1 trade. Assuming that Bomber will actually cooperate. If he doesn't, we'll probably just pull out the Worgen Infiltrator instead. So let's see if he gets a 1-cost creature out. Hoping he just plays like a Timberwolf or one of the Murlocs, and then I just bomb it. And that'll be wonderful. That'll be a really good start. It looks like he might have a card he can play. Well, that was an interesting way to start the game. So, for those of you who don't know, that's generally not a very good idea. And the reason it's not a very good idea is that you gain far more from killing a creature with an arcane shot than you do from shooting an arcane shot at your opponent. So, it's fairly rare that you would want to do that. But, hey, I guess that's what's happening. Alright. So, that might very well be an explosive trap, so we might just have to trade the Worgen for it. I don't really want to play anything just in case it is. Yep, that's an explosive trap, so okay, we trade a card for a card, he trades a slightly higher cost card for a card, so it's okay. Not really too worried about that. I think now we coin Tauren Warrior. There we go, and then we can bring out Mad Bomber next turn for potential enrage play. So that might work. Alternatively, we can go for the Slam. The problem with the Slam, of course, is that while I get a card out of it, it does leave my guy just a little bit vulnerable. But this fellow has already shown that he's willing to waste removal cards, even weak ones like Arcane Shot, by shooting me and not creatures. So I think, honestly, we might be okay. Alright, Youthful Brewmaster comes out. Straight trade. So I think probably the best idea here is Mad Bomber, and then go for 5 damage on him, and then let him basically run his Brewmaster into it. So it's probably the most efficient. We may also get lucky. The Mad Bomber might actually kill the Brewmaster. Unlikely, statistically, but possible. So here we go. Trusting in the Bomber. Do something good. 1, 2. Wasn't really what I was looking for, honestly. Not at all. Not in any way. But hey. Alright, so since it's a taunt creature, we're going to ignore it, and we're going to go for that. I was hoping for either an Enrage or a dead Panda, and we got neither. So, well, that'll be Mad Bomber in a nutshell for you. I don't know why I'm really surprised. Another secret comes out. Okay, potentially risky, so he's now got a steady shot and then trade. So that's fine. Okay, so that could be another explosive shot. Hard to say. But there is a potential here to make this work. What we can do is we can play the Armani Berserker, and if it's an explosive shot, we then get an enraged Armani Berserker for next turn. And it's not, it's a snipe. Oh well, never mind. Again, card for a card. At least it was just a 2-cost creature and nothing to necessarily worry about too much. Alright, not gonna slam. That would be silly, so we're just gonna go with the Mad Bomber there, and that leaves us with very slight board advantage. Next turn, we've got a Fen Creeper if we want something tough. If we don't need a taunt out, then we've got Corcoran Elite or Silvermoon Guardian instead. It looks like we're gonna need that taunt after all. Out comes a rather nasty selection of creatures. Alright, well, I can slam, and that will get me a card and get that down to 2, but it's still not the best move, because then we're still trading like 2 cards for 1 card, which leaves that one alive. Alternatively, we slam, which gets rid of this fellow here, or we can go straight trade, Corcoran Elite, and the Bomber, which I, again, really don't like. Not a lot of great options here, honestly. Not that many at all, and even if I slam, that still leaves that bloody thing alive. We may have to go for the trade. As much as I don't like to do it. I don't think we have a choice in the matter. Any other options leave something alive, and that gives him momentum back on the board. I hate doing this, because it's like, it spawns 2 creatures, but alright. It is what it is. Alright, so that kind of resets things, and we'll see where it goes from there. What's he bringing out? What's he got? Argent Commander. Okay, that's pretty irritating because I don't have any creatures on the field to knock that off. So his Divine Shield is going to be there. Unless, of course, I slam him, which will give me a card. But I can't play my Fen Creeper in defense after that. Which is fairly irritating. I might have to take another 4 damage hit from him, which, 8 damage off of that is not great. This is a little annoying, but let's go for the slam. That should get me a card. Gets me a Wolf Rider. Alright, cool. So we'll just trade that. That's fine. I'm happy to trade that. It's a little annoying, but at least the slam got me a card, so it keeps me at about the same number of cards as he's got. I'm technically 1 card ahead. Okay, Flesh-Eating Ghoul comes out. And a Timberwolf, which doesn't buff that, so... What options do we have? I think best option here is just Fen Creeper, honestly. We do have a Sunwalker as well. That would work too. But I think Fen Creeper. Don't necessarily think we need the Sunwalker right now. I want to put the Sunwalker out when there's some more powerful creatures on the field, when that Divine Shield is going to mean more. Don't want to use Battle Rage because there's only one thing I can use it on, so I'm going to armor up and then go, which leaves us with a 2-card advantage over him. You might say, why do you have a 2-card advantage? Well, we do. It's 4 onto 3, but I then get the draw, so I'm basically 2 ahead of him. That's nasty. And then he suicides that into that, which gives him a buff, but that still doesn't kill that, so that didn't really help him that much. I assume it's just going to go for me at this point, which is fine, because I can kill that, and I can basically trade over for both, so that works absolutely fine for me. I'm not entirely sure why he did that. Okay, we may want to Battle Rage now, because that'll get us 2 cards, which is not that bad. I'm going to need another Taunt out, which thankfully I've got a Sunwalker for, so that's fine. So we'll get rid of that first. There we go. And Sunwalker comes out, and then I think the best option is to go... Yeah, let's Battle Rage, because I don't want to play my Cruel Taskmaster, so that's going to get me 2 cards, which is okay. Cool. So that leaves me pretty significantly ahead of him. Obviously, I'm lower on health, but that's okay. But I do need to start getting momentum soon, because you can't keep doing that with... Ah, there we go. He clones that. That's pretty annoying, but hey. You can't really just sit there taking shots from a hunter every turn, because you will eventually die. So you need to watch out for that. Thankfully, I have a Cruel Taskmaster, which is going to be very useful in this situation, because I'm going to be able to ping off that Divine Shield with it. And then I'll probably Cruel Taskmaster again on this guy, and then we'll be in a really great spot. Okay, here we go. So, Cruel Taskmaster for the damage. That's going to ping the shield off. Then we're going to second Cruel Taskmaster on our silenced and heavily injured dude here, which then trades. And leaves us with 5 mana remaining, which leaves us with a significant board advantage. We could call Chronolite for the charge, but I see no reason to at this stage. Or I can call Chronolite to start doing damage. Alright, let's do that. Let's start applying that pressure. And honestly, we can just kill that off. I don't want to risk him being able to ping that. Use Divine Shield. Massive board advantage. And it's going to be difficult for a hunter to come back from that spot. Not impossible, but pretty difficult. Steady Shot comes out immediately. So let's see what his follow-up play is. Doesn't have any beasts on the field. He's only got 3 cards in his hand. Explosive Shot. That's a little bit of an ouch. That's actually a pretty big ouch. I lost 2 cards there. But I'm still fine. 1 Taunt and another Divine Shield card coming out. And then we'll just do another 6 damage to him. Takes him down to 13. We could still lose from this position, but it's looking pretty good. I mean, 4 creatures on the field and 2 of them having Divine Shield, which is even better. So getting rid of them is going to be an absolute pain in the ass. Lord of the Arena comes out. All right. And Houndmaster, which isn't going to buff anything. So suboptimal play. And Mad Bomber, which I don't want to play right now at all. That sounds like a dreadful idea. I think what we're going to do is use our Divine Shields to crack that open there, and we're just going to keep applying pressure. That seems to be the best way to do it. I don't really have any other way to buff it. I could throw something at it using a Commanding Shout, but the question I suppose you've got to ask, is there any real point? Instead of I could just use the Divine Shields instead. I don't know. I think we can clear the board with a Commanding Shout here. It also gets us a card, so let's do that. Archmage. Play that immediately. Why not? No real reason not to. It's a good card. I'm tempted to Mad Bomber at this point, but no. It's more likely to do damage to me than anything else, so there we go. Alright, so the way we're going to deal with this... I need to do 5 damage to him, so I think we'll just do that... this way. There we go. And then this one hits that. There we go. Annoyingly enough, does pop one of the Divine Shields, but it does leave us with 5 cards on the field versus what he's got, which is nothing at all. So he's dead next turn unless he can play something pretty phenomenal. That's not going to help him too much. That might. But I think he may still be dead. We'll see. Frostwolf Warlord. Could it get any better? Not really. Yep, he gives up. He realizes that he is scientifically not going to win, mathematically not going to win, physically not going to win, mentally not going to win. Ah, delicious chicken dinner, 300 gold. That's nice. That's 3 packs worth. Can't really complain about that. Well, unfortunately, the second game in this series got lost. Trust me, you didn't miss anything. A rogue basically went AFK, and I beat the snot out of it with a Gurubashi Berserker that ended up being 17-4. But hey, let's keep going, shall we? 3-0 is the current record on this. It's going particularly well. There's some nice little synergies in this deck. It seems pretty potent. I'm still, again, not entirely convinced by its endgame. I don't think it's necessarily got enough punch at the end, and also the lack of weapons for a warrior is never good. No Gore Howls, no Molten Axes, Fire War Axes, in fact, and certainly no Arcanite Reapers. But we will do what we have to do. Okay, here we go. Not bad. It's not a bad opener. I think we'll just keep it. Like, this is good. And you don't necessarily want to toss everything for 2-drops, you know. As long as you've got enough to play cards, and you know you can play cards over the next couple of turns, which as going second you can, you coin into a 2-cost, and then you basically buy another 2-cost. Alright, well, it kind of sucks to go Swampoos. And against a Paladin, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hold on. I might hold on to Swampoos. I'm trying to think, what could he could play a Light's Justice, maybe, but he could have done that this turn. I don't want to hold on to that Swampoos, because I need to play something on turn 2, and currently I don't have any other options other than the Swampoos. So, we've got to play it. Paladins have, what, 3 weapons? So you've got Sword of Justice, which I think is either a 3 or a 4-drop. No, it's a 3-drop. Alright, now is a good time to Mad Bomber. Excellent. This may get me some kills. Or it may kill off my Ooze. Which would suck. Alright, Mad Bomber, don't fail me now. Kill the Murlocs! 1, 2... Oh! Oh, delicious. There we go. There needs to be a button that says you were really lucky, because I was there. I mean, statistically, I was likely to kill at least one thing with it, but yeah. Alright, cool. That worked out pretty well. And I can also now trade a 2-drop for a 3-drop here, which is even better. And, or I could pull the charge out, but I'm not going to... I'll pull the charge, of course, and I'll attack with it, but I'm not going to trade. So I think we will use the Mad Bomber, which ends up being a 3-for-1 trade, which is just as good as you can get and hope for with a Mad Bomber. Except that 4-for-1. Admittedly, if you have 3 1-health creatures on the field, you kind of deserve to be Mad Bombered, but... alright. Imp Master comes out. Alright. I think we'll just silence that immediately, so it's less of a threat. And then we just kill off the Imp there as well, and we go for a 2-for-1 with this. I can just kill it right now, but I'll lose a creature. Or I can Commanding Shout and make sure that doesn't happen. That would be okay. And then I can Battle Rage as a follow-up. But that won't work so well, because I haven't taken any damage, and this wouldn't take any damage because it's already on 1. The alternative being I just play my Silver Moon Guardian. And just kind of ignore that thing. Alright. Okay, so we're going to do it this way. We'll kill off one of his imps here. Do a little bit more damage to him. So that leaves him with the possibility of... I mean, he can kill off one creature with that, and then I could just bop him with the Divine Shield. I was not sure if that was the best option. Maybe I should have silenced it. I'm not certain. Uh-oh, True Silver Champion out. This is why you want the Ooze. If he kills the Ooze with this True Silver Champion, then that's poetic justice, I suppose. He's going to attack me directly, which... I'm not really sure... Why did he do that? I would have attacked the Ooze and traded, because you don't lose your... Well, you would have lost it, I suppose, at the end of the turn, but... Alright, well, I can knock it out with a Divine Shield creature now, so I guess that's okay. Alright, what does that leave us with? Whirlwind, that is not what we want to be playing right now. That is not going to help me at all. Commanding Shout, again, not that useful. I really don't have that many options. And Commanding Shout means that I could attack with that and then keep the Divine Shield intact, but it's still not a great play. However, it is pretty much the only one that I've currently got, so we're going to go for it. That gets us a Worgen Infiltrator, so at least that's a card I can actually play. And we are going to bop that with that, because of course it can't die. And then we will play the Worgen Infiltrator. In fact, actually, no, don't Whirlwind to kill an imp. What the hell's wrong with you? I catch myself saying some very dumb things. I really do. Now, I would say I want to keep that Divine Shield up. If he wants to bop the Divine Shield with the imp, then let him do that. And then we'll armor up. There we go. But we're going to take another swing from that True Silver Champion, which is going to kill something. We'll see what he decides to do. If he's got any... I don't know, it's kind of awkward one way or the other. I just want to keep enough on the field so I can get rid of that. Thankfully, I kept hold of my silence, because then I could silence that questing adventurer, which I'm probably going to need to do. Although, no, I'm not going to need to do that, because it looks like he's actually going for me with the True Silver Champion, which is... I definitely wouldn't have gone that way. I would have used the imp to pop the Divine Shield, but now that means that questing adventurer can't even live through this, so that's fantastic for me. Really good news. Alright, so we'll kill that off pretty much immediately. And we could trade the 2-1 for the 3-2 if we like, or we could put up the Sunwalker. I think we're just going to get that off the field. But the question is, what does that leave us with? If I trade, what can I play this turn? Because I would be a massive waste of potential mana and board control. So, honestly, I'm going to play the Sunwalker. I was thinking of playing the Young Priestess, but... do I want to trade that 2-1 for the... I kind of do. Especially since I want to be able to play a Whirlwind. So, yeah, whatever. Let's do that. There we go. Leaves us with fantastic board control. Really, really good. I'm ahead on cards. By 1, I am ahead on what he's got in the field. And I'm ahead on health. So, can't really complain. This is a situation where you definitely don't want to use Whirlwind under any circumstances, but... unfortunately for him, he has miscalculated this. And he is going to lose that Gurubashi Berserker for nothing. Which is... I actually feel kind of sorry for him for that, but... tough. Such is the way of things. So this is what we do. We do that, and then we hit it with that, which means that dies before it gets to do anything. And I think we play Fen Creeper Young Priestess at this stage. Certainly don't want to go any Whirlwind. That would be a little bit silly. I could Battle Rage for 2 cards, but frankly I've already got a card advantage. I don't see any reason to do that. We could potentially get maybe 3 cards out of that, so I think this is a better play. There we go. Alright. Really strong position. And that healed up to 2, which is fantastic. So if he pulls out something like a Rifleman or an Elven Archer, that's not going to get popped, which is great. Alright, Cult Master, really good choice. Whoa, okay, Blessing of Kings on that bastard. Alright, so not only does he get a card, he actually kills that off as well. Nasty. Oh, he doesn't kill it off, so that's actually not as good for him. Oh well. Whirlwind may not be the play we want to use right now. It's like, no, we're not going to do that. That's an awful idea. Don't listen to me. I think we trade the Priestess for the Cult Master. And then we Cruel Taskmaster to kill that off without having to touch it. And then we laugh all the way to the bank. We can Whirlwind, but why take the unnecessary damage? So that's how it's going to be. This is why I love the Cruel Taskmaster. I think it's one of the best cards that you've got as a warrior, because it's got so much utility. You can kill stuff, or you can buff your own stuff, and it synergizes really well with Enrage and Gurubashi Berserkers. So that's okay, I guess. I think now we need to card draw because we have no other options, so let's pull 2 cards out, see if we can get something a bit more useful, and we can. So let's Corcoran Elite, and then we shall lay about him with the fisticuffs. There we go. Now he's down to 8, and he is in a lot of trouble. He's dead next turn unless he pulls some miracles out of those 3 cards he's got there. And it's gonna have to be miracles. No miracles for you, I'm afraid. Where you from, you sexy thing? That's gonna be a 4-0. That's not a bad start for this deck. Let's keep going. Let us keep going, especially since you missed the stomping of the rogue deck. But again, I don't think that really counts. That was more of a default win because he really didn't do anything. So I think it was mostly because, and you're not going to get to see the footage of this, which is very disappointing, he went for a coin Arcane Golem, which is a very, very odd play. Most people don't use the Arcane Golem, especially early on like that. because it's a weird card to even draw. It gives your opponent a Mana Crystal and it's a 4-2 charge, so situationally it's not that great. So as a result, he gave me that and then forgot to charge with the creature, which is the most disastrous thing you could ever possibly do. Oh man. Alright, let's toss both of those. See what else we get. Alright, so let's see. The hope is that he plays a 1-cost minion of some sort, and then I can just Mad Bomber it. It's unlikely that he'll play a weapon, like, unless he picked up a Lights... It's either a Lights Hope or a Lights Justice, I can't remember which. And that is extremely unlikely. But if he plays a creature, I will play a Mad Bomber. And hopefully the Mad Bomber will do its job. It might not. Statistically, it should. Alright, cool. So, Young Priestess, which is a fantastic drop, unless, of course, you happen to have a Mad Bomber in your deck. So, oh holy bomber, do bringeth us the dynamite... 1, 2... I kind of wish it didn't do that, but it killed the creature off, which means a 2-1 trade for the bomber, so I'll take that, it's fine. You know, that damage doesn't really matter all that much to me at this stage. Oh, Nat Pagel, alright. That could be bad news for me. But it looks like he's not getting too lucky with the fishing right now. You've also got to bear in mind, Nat Pagel is a massive damage sink, so I'm going to have to beat on that bastard for 2 turns to get anything out of him. And he may get a card after that. Alright. It's a Paladin deck. Since he doesn't have any damage dealing on the field, I'm going to hold the Acidic Swamp Ooze back. Because if he pulls a True Silver Champion or a Sword of Justice, I want to be able to get rid of it. I really do. So I'll hold on to it. I've got a turn 3 play. I already have board advantage, so that's fine. Ooh, that's a nice little play. He's saying to me now, you have got to kill that off. And he's right, I do. So I think now we'll play Tauren Warrior. And we will... If I kill that, it's going to buff it, which is a little annoying. And that it will kill my Tauren Warrior and go for a 2-for-1 trade. So... Before that happens, I'm going to kill that, and I'm going to trust in the RNG gods that he doesn't get a card out of Nat Pagel. He's had 2 turns, which is unlucky. He hasn't got a... It's a 50% chance, for those of you who don't know. Ah! I knew I was right to wait. There we go. I'm going to be able to pop that, so he only gets 1 hit with it. So that's great. Excellent. Always wait against Paladins. True Silver Champions are very, very common. Alright, so out comes the Ooze. He will hate me forever. And Taskmaster pops Pagel. Board advantage. And no cards from Pagel. So the Pagel play basically didn't really help him all that much. It did serve as a bit of a bullet magnet, I'll give him credit for that. So he takes a little bit less damage because Pagel's out there, but aside from that. Okay, Sentient Shieldmaster, really great play from him. Absolutely fantastic play from him. Because it's going to lead to a 2-for-1 trade, unless I do something about that. And I can't. That's the worst thing about it. There is nothing I can do. So, in this situation, the question is, do you want to trade 2-for-1? And kind of give him that momentum back? It's hard to say. I think we might 2-for-1 and then Corcoran Elite him. And so I can just start to kind of beat on him at that point. But I hate the fact that I have to do it. As I say, Sentient Shieldmaster is one of the best drops in the world because it lets you do that. And I don't see any other way around it. Whirlwind is not going to do enough damage to make that happen, so... Alright, we're trading 2-for-1. And it's just because I just don't want to give him that edge. I need to keep my board control and keep my pressure on him. And if I can't do that, then I'm going to be in big trouble. Alright, next turn I've got an Archmage as a possibility. Depends what he brings out. Probably going to be Archmage, though, because it's got one of the coolest stat combinations in the game, 4-7. Spell damage doesn't really help me too much. It can help me with this Whirlwind, though. So there is a potential combo involved in that. So we might make that work. Alright, let's see what he brings out. So I still have board control, but I did sacrifice 2 creatures, which means that I start to now lag slightly behind in terms of card draw. So he has a card advantage on me, which is never good. No, you can't do that, I'm afraid. That's not going to help you in any way, so... That's not really a big deal. So we could go... We can... What's it going to do? Ooh, you bastard. That's nasty. Alright, again, these bad trades that are coming out here. But it's okay, because I did just pull a Sunwalker, so that really doesn't matter so much. I can get my Taunt Shield up and just use that, and then just very slowly beat on him. I was hoping to rapidly beat on him, but now it's going to be just a little bit of tickling. For Hellscream, why did you give us this feather duster instead of some useful pike weapon? Oh well, never mind. It's a Paladin deck, that's gonna happen. At least it wasn't an Aldor Peacekeeper, which is a 3/3 and that effect, which is one of the best Paladin cards you can get. Guardian of Kings, never liked that, honestly. It's a 7-cost 5/6, which I don't think is that great, but never mind. Okay, you're gonna run that into there? You're not. But it's fine, because that means he doesn't hit me, and gives me another turn to try and figure out what I'm doing. Alright then. What's the best move? So, there's a... I could do Archmage Whirlwind, which will result in 2 damage being done to everything. What does that do? Well, I can use that to kill off his Spellbreaker and do 2 damage to his What's-His-Face, which will then put us in a position where that would be a straight trade over for the Sunwalker. That's okay. That's not a terrible idea. I guess that's the best thing that I've got right now. Yeah, get that Archmage on the field. Alright, here we go. So, we are going to attack first. We're going to do it with the Worgen Infiltrator. What's going to happen? Actually... 1-3 or 2-1. Hard to say. I think, yeah, because that's going to keep it alive next turn. So, I'll at least have another creature out of it. Alright, and there's the Whirlwind. There we go. Pops off my Divine Shield. Does a little bit of damage here and there. And then we'll do 1 damage to him. And I'm going to rely on him just running into that taunt. I'm hoping that that's the case. He may have something like an Aldor Peacekeeper, so maybe it would have made more sense. In fact, it probably would have made more sense just to trade immediately. But actually, no, it doesn't, because he doesn't actually have anything that's going to help him here. So he's going to trade that across straight away, and then we're going to have that Armani Berserker stuff, which is going to get whomped quite nicely here. Ooh, an Inner Rage. Okay. Interestingly enough, as you can see, Inner Rage actually gets buffed. Which makes, funnily enough, that makes it worse, arguably. So you got to watch out for that. Okay, we've got another taunt play up, so this is actually fine. We've got a slight card advantage on him, and what I'm going to now do is just start whacking these guys. And let's just get rid of that. Can't do anything with it, so there we go. We got the best value out of it we possibly could. And that leaves us still with that Archmage. You see why I like the Archmage? Because it's got so much health. It's a 4/7. It's still got a good enough punch. It trades really well for almost any creature you can bring out. Like in here, for instance. These 2/3s or the 2/4. You can kill the 2/4 and stay alive after already having taken 2 big hits. That's amazing. You usually get like a 3-for-1 out of it. It's incredible. Absolutely love it. Okay, can I make use of the Inner Rage in any useful capacity? Nope. So I'm not going to. I am going to... I think I'm just going to whack that, get rid of it, because it's one of the better creatures he's got. And it stays alive after that as well. So, alright, that goes down. And then that now leaves us with a couple of other options. I think I'll just kill his Enrage with the Divine Shield there. Because that still trades nicely for what he's got. So, get rid of that. There we go. And that leaves us with the Silver Moon Guardian. And an Armani Berserker. And we have an Inner Rage. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I actually want to lose my Archmage next turn so that I can use that Inner Rage more effectively. I also have 6 armor. I just want to point this out, by the way. I've been sitting here armoring up. I'm sitting on 34 health, which is just phenomenal. Out comes the true Silver Champion to annoy the hell out of me. So he's going to whack that, and then he's going to use that. Then if he's got any damn sense, he'll kill off my Armani Berserker. Please don't have any sense and kill off my Archmage instead. Yes. Kill it. You know you want to. He will regret that decision. It's unfortunate that I can't break his sword, but this is going to be pretty wonderful. You're going to love this. You absolutely are. Alright, so this is how it's going to go down. I'm going to use that to get rid of that, because otherwise he'll be able to use that to poke that. You might be able to buff it. You're gonna love it. This is gonna be wonderful. Okay, so here we go. 7-2. Smack. Nice. Please don't pull an Aldor Peacekeeper on me. If he wants to kill it with his sword, he's gonna take another 7 damage. The main problem I currently have is I have no cards, so I'm relying on top decking from here on in, which can be a disadvantage. I have significant board and health advantage, but this could still go either way. He's not dead yet, which means that his health amount really isn't that relevant. He's got one more swing. Does he want to take out the enraged creature? If he doesn't, he knows he's going to take yet more damage. He's going to take it out. All right, so he heals himself for 1, but then he takes another 5 on top of that. That leaves my charge minion and this alive, which is phenomenal. What's he got? He's still got 10 mana, bear that in mind. What can he pull? What's he going to take out? I'd take out the charge minion if I got... Don't attack me, no. Okay, Elven Archer. Acidic Swampoos, no use. Okay. All right. Time to top deck. We're all top decking from here on in, folks. So let's make good trades and make everything wonderful. Commanding Shout. We are going to use it because we need that card draw. Good lord, do we need that card draw right now. So that also lets us get a set of pretty cool trades going on. So Commanding Shout. Ooh, Fen Creeper. Ideal. So that comes out immediately. Then we armor up. We're going to use this to whack this. I don't want to weaken this any more than I absolutely have to, because it makes it easier for him to take it out. We can clear the board, and that leaves us with a significant advantage. No point attacking him now. He's relying on top decking, so we're going to just womp both of these creatures right here. And that leaves us with 3 on the board versus his nothing on the board, and a massive advantage. So he's now relying on luck. Gets the Lord of the Arena. That's pretty much what you need. That's the exact thing that he needed in this situation, because that trades 2 for 1 at a minimum. I pull out a Frostwolf Warlord, which also has charge. Harr. That's unpleasant. Can I kill him? Let's do the math. No, I cannot. I need to get rid of that. Shall I just trade straight away? I probably should. I probably should just trade straight away. Leave the rest of my stuff alive. That charge is great, especially in a top decking situation, so why would I trade otherwise? And I want that taunt up as well, so yeah, I will trade. Whack. And whack, and also more whack. And 12 armor. You, sir, are in serious trouble. He's dead next turn, most likely. And the best thing is, didn't even lose the Frostwolf Warlord. Because it was a 7/7, which was wonderful. I doubt he has the card that he needs. Nope, Fred, you're not doing that. Are you going to Kings it? That doesn't matter, you're dead anyway. You're wasting your time. Oh, well, never mind. GG. Stop summoning creatures, you're dead. Get over it. Just to insult him. Smack. 5-0. I need a trip to Hawaii. Alright. I think we'll do one more. We'll do one more, and then we'll wrap this up. This is not going too badly. This deck is... I don't know, I'm running up against some opponents that are making some silly mistakes, but then again, I also make silly mistakes, so I feel it balances itself out quite nicely. Alright, let's see if we do in fact have a worthy opponent. Ooh, another warrior. This is where things get weird. I guess it figured out that that was the only way it was going to kill me. Okay, going first. I think we toss everything then, because I need to get a 1-drop, really, to start putting that pressure on very early, and I didn't get it. Alright, so Mad Bomber turn 2, most likely. Which is, I mean, that's okay, because it's more likely he'll have a creature out, because he's going second with the coin, so Mad Bomber could be good. He may also decide to go for a Fiery War Axe on turn 1 with the coin, which means Acidic Swampoo is going to be amazing. Well, it's going to be okay. Thing about Fiery War Axe is the 3/2, so he'll take what... If he's an inexperienced player, he'll probably take... Ah! Sweet, I don't even have to worry about that. Young Priestess comes out, great. It's actually less than ideal, because the Mad Bomber is probably going to kill it if I pull it out there. But he could coin into Fiery War Axe, he could then use that to kill that. Alright, okay, I'll break that, that's fine. I mean, it's... obviously not the best weapon to break, but it means that my turn 2 play is a little bit more reasonable. So, I get the benefit from it. So, let's break that. It just means that I can keep the pace up. I don't like sitting on Acidic Swampoos. And I like to play Mad Bomber when there's something else on the field I can actually hit. So, let's see what he gets. He's armoring up. Okay, good. So, that looks like that was the correct play, because that's knocked him off his pace, and I can now start to deck him. Alright. Mad Bomber's a bit of a risk, which is why I'm attacking first, and I'm not playing the Worgen Infiltrator either. We're gonna risk the Mad Bomber and hope that it doesn't kill the Use. I hate you so much right now. Statistically unlikely that it would have killed the ooze, but there was a definite probability of that. That's why I attacked first with it. That kind of sucks. But at least I got a little bit of damage out of it. Alright, coin coming out. He's going to play something with a 4 cost. Ooh, like... the Shield Master. Alright, unpleasant. I'm going to have to 2 for 1 for that. Or I can Cork Run Elite, which is not going to make a blind bit of difference. So we 2 for 1, and we then Cork Run Elite to keep applying that pressure. There we go. On goes the Cork Run Elite, and then we smack him with it. Turn 5 got Fen Creeper. We're not going to play Frostwolf Warlord for obvious reasons. It will only end up being a 5-5 at the most. So that's not so good. That's assuming he doesn't kill my Cork Run Elite. So yeah, Fen Creeper's pretty good, because, I mean, you've got that 4 damage guy swinging behind it with the weaker health, so it's well protected. You can keep just pressuring him. Oasis Snapjaw is not going to help him much against my Fen Creeper, so I am entirely fine with that decision. There we go. So we're just going to go for him right now. He needs to start getting some momentum up. He doesn't have it right now. He's got a lot of cards, but at this point, I'm playing a very low card kind of rush him down strategy, which may not be the best of ideas, but it's just how the game kind of panned out. Since I got board advantage early, I wanted to press that board advantage, and I couldn't make good trades to do that, so my logic was, well, I might as well try and hurt him then. Because I do have charged creatures, I do have things like Mortal Strike in my deck, I have ways to do damage, I may be able to tip him over the edge before he's able to get any good grip on this game. Okay, that's a bit nasty. Doesn't kill it, but it's nasty nonetheless. Alright, so we've got a Slam, which is not going to kill that, and then we could trade that across, but I think we do just need to trade right now. I'm just trying to think of the best way to do it. Alternatively, we go Cruel Taskmaster, and then we use that to kill his what's-its-face. So that might work. We're going to trade out the Cork Run, I think. Just trying to think if there's a better way of doing it. I mean, I could just whack him. Maybe we should just rush him. You know, we're putting a lot of pressure right now. Maybe we should. Now, what I want to do is Cruel Taskmaster that, so that he is forced to lose a creature. So that takes us up to a potential of 9 damage this turn. Usually I wouldn't do this, but it's just the way that the game is played out makes me think that this was the better way to do it. I may be mistaken. If he pulls something like an Execute or even a Whirlwind, then this is going to rapidly turn around in his favor, but I'm taking a few risks here. Let's see what he can pull out of there. He's down to pretty low health already. I mean, basically, if he's got to do something this turn, otherwise he dies. Ugh, Stampede Kodo. Okay, that's annoying. So he loses that, and then he probably just trades, and that leaves him with a bit of a board advantage. Alright. Alright, that is what it is. Armani Berserker, really bad play right now. Really bad play. I'm probably just going to have to slam and get a card because I don't have any other great options right now. Sunwalker. 1 mana short of what I actually need to play it. Don't want to play the 4/4 Frostwolf Warlord, really. Because that's a really bad play. But the Armani Berserker is an even worse play because it doesn't trade with that. Don't want to let him get that advantage back. I think we wait it out. Take 3 damage. I'm only on 34 health, so it's not really that important. Put the Sunwalker up next turn, and put an Armani Berserker behind it. So that keeps it a little bit safe. Hopefully we then have 2 creatures on the field, at which point we Frostwolf Warlord, and that gives us a 6/6, and then we can maybe try and finish it off. Alright, things just got massively more unpleasant, and the Sunwalker... I mean, Sunwalker's still going to get a 2 for 1, so I guess that's not too bad. Alright, let's see what he's got. He still has this massive card advantage over me, and this game may very well demonstrate why just attempting to rush your opponent down is not necessarily the best idea, unless your deck is very much geared towards that. We'll see. If I pull, say, a Taskmaster, and I'm able to keep my Armani Berserker alive, and maybe I can get my Tauren Warrior out, things will get really interesting, but we'll see. I'm hoping for a 2 for 1 out of this, but I might not get that. No, I'm going to get a 1 for 1. So he's going to use that to pop that, and then he's going to trade that over. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And then if he's got any damn sense, he will use his Dark Iron Dwarf to kill my Armani Berserker, which will put him ahead on the board. Oh, Reaper comes out as well. Even worse. All right, this is going really badly now. Are we learning lessons yet, folks, that rushing down doesn't always work? In fact, it rarely ever does. Okay. Only real options I've got right now, I could do Tauren Warrior, Frostwolf Warlord, but that will trade for just a swing of his Arcanite Reaper, which I don't like. Battle Rage is only going to get me one card here. So I'm going to have to, again, wait it out. Just armor up and hope for the best. So if he's got any sense, he'll use his Arcanite Reaper here to kill off my Tauren, which then leaves him with the ability to do 6 damage to me, and massive board control. And since I don't have any creatures on the field after that, my Battle Rage is only going to trade for a single card, which is awful. Oh, he's pulling a Gore Howl. Oh, Jesus. Alright. You see, these are the weapons that I wanted in this deck. Yep. I'm pretty sure I'm losing this now. Especially with a Gore Howl out. This is going to be nigh on impossible. Can he actually just kill me next turn? 8, 9, 10... Yeah, I'm dead. No. No, I'm one health away. It depends who wants to burn his Gore Howl on hitting me. Alright, well, in this case, I think the only option I really have is to... I'm going to have to Battle Rage. I need to get one more card out. Cruel Taskmaster is going to kill off one of his creatures. So let's do that. There we go. Down goes that. And that's kind of the best that I could do in this situation. At least I got rid of some of his damage potential. Some of it. But not all of it yet. Alright, come on. Let's see what else you got. What do you have left? Yeah, I'm almost convinced I'm going to lose this, but I'm going to try and play it to the end. Cult Master, so there's even more card advantage, why not? Well, at least I think I got a 2-for-1 out of that. Gets a card. I'd use the 4-2 to kill the 3-3 in this situation. I mean, I don't know, yeah, I don't know, mate. You could... It doesn't matter either way, because he's going to lose that dwarf unless he buffs it with, say, a Rampage. And then the Gore Howl kills the other creature, which, again, gives him a massive board advantage. So he then Gore Howls the 2-2, I assume. Yep, there you go. For those of you who don't know, Gore Howl loses 1 attack instead of 1 durability every time it kills a minion, which makes it absolutely phenomenal. Not the best card to play in a low health situation, which he's in, but honestly, he's absolutely fine right now. Archmage armor up and see what he does, really. The Archmage should... It'll take a swing of the Gore Howl and the Squire, I guess, and then he'll just get another card, and then he'll hit me for 8, and then I'd probably die the turn after that, but we'll see. I need to learn my own lessons. Now, I keep saying it, don't try and rush down. Don't try and rush down. And I don't listen to myself. Oh, this is unpleasant. Oh, he silences that as well, which is even worse. Am I dead? I might be. I think I'm dead. He could Gore Howl me, and then that would kill me, I think. No, I survived with 1 health, which is... Oh, so close to killing him. If he hadn't armored up, I actually would have killed him. I've got Mortal Strike there, which is, what, 6, and then... Oh, I'm 1 health away. Oh, that sucks. 1 health away. If he hadn't silenced that, I would have actually won this game, because I just pulled a Mortal Strike. Oh, no. That is the worst thing. Mortal Strike. Okay. MS. 2 health away, actually. Well, that's GG. Well played. So close. No, that wouldn't have killed him. It would have left him with 1 health, but there you go. Alright, folks, there you go. Not a bad ratio. 5-1 on this deck so far. We'll see if we can take it all the way to 9 in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.